This is my aquarium and I filled it with live plants. The reason? They look pretty. But do they also clean my aquarium? That's a question that a lot of people have, and I'm sure you have as well. If you're thinking of getting live plants, or maybe you already have live plants in your tank. Well, just like regular garden plants can feed off cow manure, these live plants can actually feed off fish poop. They produce ammonia, and if you are familiar with the nitrogen cycle, there are a lot of bacteria in this aquarium that break down the ammonia into nitrite and eventually into nitrate. And people think that aquarium plants only eat the ammonia. Well, that's not the case. They also feed on the nitrite and the nitrate produced by the nitrogen cycle. So usually when we've got a lot of fish, we feed them a lot, stuff starts rotting, and fish start pooping, then if you have a healthy aquarium, the beneficial bacteria break the ammonia down into nitrite and eventually into nitrate. But then the nitrate, which by the way is way less toxic than ammonia. Ammonia, even at very low concentrations, is very toxic to our fish. So it's great the beneficial bacteria break it down for us. But the nitrite in low concentrations is fine. However, if we wait long enough, then the nitrate will start to accumulate in our aquarium, which is something that we do not want, because if the concentration gets high enough, then it will start to get toxic. So that's where the plants come in. They reduce the nitrate. Great. Are they then a substitute for the regular way of taking out the nitrate when they accumulate, which is doing water changes? That's what we do, that's what you do to care for your fish. You remove, I often do 25% of your water, which contains nitrate, and you refill it with fresh water that does not contain nitrate. Short answer is no, they do not completely replace doing water changes. And that's because water changes have different functions, like taking care of the way our tank looks, trimming the plants, washing the glass, washing the gravel, removing dead plants which can start to rot and then become an ammonia source again. But they do really help. So maybe instead of doing weekly water changes, if you've got a lot of live plants, you can do monthly water changes. I don't know if I would recommend that, but your tank can definitely go a longer period of time without you having to do water changes. Another great way of how your aquarium plants clean your aquarium is they compete with the algae for nutrients. So imagine there are no live plants in this aquarium. Then all the nutrients that are in it, so all the fish poop, is going to be consumed by algae. And there's going to be a lot of algae growing in my tank. Now, with a lot of live plants, those plants are competing with the algae for the same nutrients. So they actually reduce the amount of algae in your aquarium. So now I want to warn you for a very common pitfall that I do not want you to fall for. Imagine you've got an aquarium and you're about to start with live plants. And the aquarium has been running for a while, there's fish in it. That means the nitrate concentration in your aquarium can be quite high, because there's nothing except for your water changes to remove the nitrate from your aquarium. Then if you put in plants, those plants have access to a lot of nutrients, so they will start to grow rapidly. But at some point, they have completely removed all the nitrates in your aquarium. It's something that happens, especially if you put in fast-growing plants. Then, if you do nothing, the plants will either stop growing, but they will also start to slowly die, which is something that's terrible to watch if you don't know what's going on. So what you then need to do is add more fertilizer, add more nutrients for the plants to feed on. It's very important. Depending on the plant, you can either fertilize using liquid fertilizer, which you just add to the water, or if you've got heavy root feeder plants like cryptocoryne, Amazon sword, tiger lotus, there are a couple of more. You'll need to add root taps, which you basically stick down into the substrate. Then a question the other way around: are there plants that do not clean your aquarium water? Fake plants, I'm not going to name the obvious. All plants clean the aquarium water to some extent, but there are plants who clean it slower. So if the plant's growing slower, it's going to consume less nutrients, and the cleaning process is basically removing nutrients from your water. So if the plant grows slower, it doesn't clean as much. Examples of these plants are Anubias. I've got Anubias plant right here. Maybe Bushophilandra, which is also a slow growing plant. Stuff like that. So if you want plants that can clean your aquarium water very quick, make sure you buy fast growing plants. If you're ready to learn more about aquarium plants, fish keeping, make sure you subscribe to my channel and please leave a like, and then I'll see you guys around for all my next videos to come. Thanks.